Yo, 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 yo. Everybody, yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Everybody jump into the stream, jump into the stream. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, gang. Let's get into it. Let's get into today's stream, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a minute. It's been a second. It's been a hot second since we've been streamed. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. Just something a little bit interesting today. Maybe we could play some Pokemon and then we can get into our regular nonsense of the news and such. Alright? We'll save good old Sneeko and all of his shenanigans and stuff for later today. We have a lot to get into. So let's leave all of that there and let's get into just messing around with the good old Pokestees. Now, to be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now. But that's okay. Let's get into it. Let's try to figure out exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Because right at the moment, right now, I have no clue. I lost the final match. Am I supposed to go in there and beat somebody? Somebody give me the information. Being able to see Pokemon in the night is the best. Yeah, sure it is. I'm sure it is, baby girl. I'm sure it feels really good. I'm gonna come really help on. Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing about a lot of these gym people here, the people that reside in the city, the Pokemon thing, is like a lot of them don't realize that like a lot of their trainers, the majority of their trainers that they have here, absolute dog wash, bro. Absolute dog wash. Oh, what's happening? You can completely annihilate the majority of most of people's trainers. Because most of the trainers that they have in Pokemon are pretty just ass. I don't know if it's on purpose or what, but... Bro, you guys, I completely forgot what I'm supposed to be doing. Hold on, I completely forgot what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's see. Let's see if we can get the map. Yeah, the town map. Because I'm just sitting here. I'm like, bro, what is the goal? What is the achievement that we're supposed to be doing right now? Okay, hold up. Winden, Pokemon Center, blah, 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 blah. Why is our flag here? Make your way to Winden Stadium for the final match of the Championship Cup. Make your way to Winden. Okay, cool. So, our thing here is a Pokemon battle, bros. The final showdown, this is so exciting. Oh my god. The final showdown? Alright, 1 second. I'm not opposed to a good Pokemon battle. I'm not opposed to a good Pokemon battle. It's just, am I prepared? Do I have the right equipment? So we sell technical machines here. No, I don't need a technical machine. Look at this nigga's fucking head, you. Look at this nigga's fucking head top. Bro, turn this way, turn this way, so that everyone can see your fucking head top. Ah, what a fucking foot, bro. Hold on. I'm trying to get him to move his head so we can see his head top. Alright, hold on. We'll see his head top. Give me 1 second. Check man's head top, bro. Check man's head top. Oh, y'all niggas can't see it, dude. Oh, look at look at man's head top, man. Absolutely bonkers. Alright, here we go. I need to buy some things for this battle, man. Because the thing is, you never know with these Pokemon things, fam. If the game is going to be good, or if the, you know what I mean? If the gym battle nigga's gonna be nice with it or not. So you want to make sure that you always have your sort of, the revives and all that stuff. Ultra Ball, Potion, Super Potion, Hyper Potion, Max Potion. Where's the potion that restores health and the tank? I guess you can get, okay, I guess the only thing here is full restore, a medicine that can be used to fully restore the HP of a single Pokemon and heal any status conditions it Alright, so I guess what you're looking for is a full restore. That's the one that heals HP and the team. And I have 11 of the niggers already. I already have 11 in the niggers, and I need more of them. Give me at least 3. Revives. 29 revives? 14. I'm already military packed. I'm already militantly packed. This removes all status teams too. I'm already militantly packed, but I might as well keep packing. Look, I have 16 max potions. I need the thing that puts back the PP. It doesn't have that? Alright, let's just go. Let's go into war. Let's leave it as is. Let's go into war. Hold on. Who are we going to battle with? Who are we going to war with? I have Homegirl here. This one here, Obsidian, Jinx, Vileplume, Drifloon, and Arcanine? It's crazy. It could just work. It could just work. Alright, who's the first Pokemon we're sending out? You want to send out first? I believe the nigga is a dragon nigga. I believe the nigga's a dragon nigga, so we need ice and shit. Ice beam. Alright, we should leave this one. Because just in case the nigga, it's the last final boss guy. Just in case the man is a dragon Pokemon, then at least when we slap him in the face real quick, it's with a couple ice beam things. So the man realizes like, yo, maybe this is not the kind of guy I should be messing around with. And how are you going to realize that unless you get slapped in the face real quick? Let's go. The music they got going on right now is absolutely ridiculous. The music they have blasting right now in my eardrums, absolutely ridiculous music. Let's go, fam. I'm one of the people. Okay, well, my nigga, let a nigga slide into the tank. Wow. Wow. Is the event not here? Is the event not here? This is a final guest jump. Are you ready to face Leon? Yeah, I'm ready to beat him, dude. Oh, okay. Well, what the fuck? Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's do this. I don't know. I don't know how strong Leon is. I guess we're all about to find out as friends and as comrades. As lovers today. Here right in front of you. This nigga Leon, bro. He wears shorts and then he wears tights underneath. What a fucking weirdo, dude. My matches are always sold out, but this, I've never seen a crowd this wild. Everyone knows what you did for us this week, xCephasx. They know you're the one who caught Etertanus. What kind of a Pokemon name is Etertanus? And saved the future of the Galar region. A real hero who battled alongside the legendary Pokemon Zacian and Zamazenta. I couldn't have dreamed of a better challenger to help increase my winning streak. Now that I've seen just what kind of strength you possess as the greatest of challengers. Yeah, I'm not too shabby, motherfucker, alright? Let's get into this fucking battle. These fucking laziness yapping, bro. This nigga's yapping hard. Fucking leaving, bro. Easy, Leon. Easy now. Easy. Relax, man. Hey, Leon, chill out, buddy. Let's get into this. Leon's about to take a fucking whooping, bro. Okay, what kind of Pokemon is this, first of all? It seems to me like it would have to be some sort of team, so I think we should hit it with extrasensory first, and then we'll see. Because I don't know what kind of team it seems to be like. See? Mistake. But at least we have we got that limiting factor, that it wasn't able to move on the next turn, as we try to figure out what kind of fucking type of Pokemon. Bro! We gotta switch out Sisu. Then at least we were 3 different types, and we know now what we could possibly do. Yeah, change your stance, bro. Do whatever you need to do. Okay. Water tank? Oh, wow. The protection. I want to at least get this liquidation out so I can see, is this nigga a water tank? Bro, the water tank is the only thing that took off enough damage. Was the water tank. Wild. Wild. Taking him down like this is going to be absolutely brutal, bro. Whoa, wow. We could risk it. I'm all about risking it. That was my concern. Is he going to waste a move powering up? Fine. But now my next move is to regain that HP. This is a grueling battle, bro. Because none of the attacks that I'm throwing at him are actually effective. They're just strong based on my attack stats. They're not actually effective. Gotta throw a potion on the team, bro. Gotta throw a potion on the team. Alright, relax. Oof. Could be a team. Hey yo! Grueling. That was a grueling team. That was grueling, dude. That was not a pretty battle at all, bro. Dragapult. I'll keep Sisu in, and we'll see what she says in terms of this has to be a fucking dragon type. It has to be. See? That's what I was saying. I was like, this nigga sucking my ass. Oh! Yeah, of course it is, you idiot. If you know how to play the game, you goon. Woo. Yeah. Okay. Yo, this nigga Leon is talking smack, bro. This nigga Leon is talking smack. He's yapping. That's what he's doing. He's trying to insult me? No. We're gonna play this game all day. If that's the game you want to play. I'm gonna put you out of your misery, bro. And then it's a wrap. It's over. Ooh. Take a seat. Take a seat. Take a seat, bro. The first one was a little grueling. Now we're picking up the momentum a little bit. You see that? Mr. Rhyme. I can tell anything. There's another ice ball and it's psychic also. You hit him with fire. Let's throw a canine in there real quick. Hit him with the fire tank. If I'm expecting the Mr. Rhyme, he's a psychic. Ice. Which is a weird turn of events, but I could be completely incorrect. This nigga looks like a fucking bocce boy, bro. Alright, here we go. You know, the flamethrower attack is not... You would think you need like a fire blast. Cheater dance. Alright, okay, alright. So we got... This nigga got me dancing and shit, dude. This nigga got me doing a pirouette on the motherfucking stadium and shit, dog. I'm confronted, dude. Conflicted whether to attack my dance sensei or not. I was conflicted. Haxorus? I'll keep Arcanine just because I don't know about this thing what his type is. But to be honest, it doesn't matter what his type is, bro. I'm not trying to date the nigga. I'm just trying to see if flamethrower will be in any sort of way effective. Oh my god, he could be here forever. Ooh, that's gonna sting. Oh my god. This nigga is... Watch her. Ooh. Water tank. Okay, I guess we can hit him with this. Let's swap with Obsidian. And then we'll switch him out. And we'll use him as a shield, as a buffer. Well, I get my other hands there. But first, let me see if I can make one move on you. I know it was a mistake. I don't know why I put this thing in. But it won't really move this guy right now. If that was a mistake, then we were doing it, bro. He's gonna have to get sacrificed. He's gonna have to get sacrificed in some way. Yes. Mistake. Yeah, he's gone, isn't he? Put my Rhyperior in the ground. I'm not too happy about that, Milan. Goofy with purple hair. What kind of type is this then? The chances of it being to ice? Slim. Wow. I guess it's dragon something then. That was a stupid. I was about to say Inteleon. Sure, bring him out, dude. Whose man's is that? This nigga came out here looking all dashing and shit, dude. Whose man's is that? Dark Pulse. The thing that kind of makes it a little bit more interesting when you don't know the types is it makes the game just a little bit harder to play, which I do like, but it's because there's always so many new Pokemon. It's like, bro, we don't really care about all these new Pokemon. Why are you putting them all in front of our face like that? I'll take a risk with this guy. I don't know what this he's water type for sure. He's a frog, so I can only make that assumption. Some sort of psychic dragon. Oh yeah, I bet, dude. You niggas just love it, dude. Oof. Mistake. I would bring out Vileplume. I think Vileplume might be able to do some damage. Yo, what's goody? I love you too. I love you too. Oh wow. Alright, here we go. I don't know what Giga Drain. What is this, bro? Stop looking at me like that. Vileplume use Giga Drain. That's it? Oh, what did I tell you, dude? What did I tell you? I said if anything's going to be effective, it's going to be that. The Giga Drain. Super effective. Sit down! The next time you talk to me, dude, address me as master. Jinx. I gotta throw Jinx in there too, just to get him some crowd love. Just get him some love in the crowd. Rambo wants to learn to move Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump? Right now, special attack 156, special defense 135, special attack 156. This is right now, liquidation move. Oh man. This is still creating special attack. It's like as good as doing this one is. Let's see what I think. Physical, whereas this is special power of 110, but actually of 80. This has a power of 85 and an accuracy of 2. It's using physical. 135. Which is the lowest stat. So you'd want an attack. You'd want an attack, a thing that's special attack. Because your attack is the lowest. So you can switch liquidation for everything. And that, my friends, is how you do the math. Cool. Yes. Let's put in Rambo and completely obliterate this thing. I'm sorry, Leon. You're gonna bring out your giant Charizard. You're gonna do what needs to be done, I guess. Yes, make him Giga. Make him all the shit, dude. Make him all the shit. How many Pokemon does this thing even have left, bro? We're putting on a clinic the whole fight. Hold on. Hold on, baby. Hold on. I could Dynamax and hit him with the fucking thing. Alright, let's put on a little flare for the fucking crowd then, yo. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I guess we were both thinking the same thing, innit, bro? Let's make this a show. If we're gonna do it, let's make it a show, dude. There's a giant Charizard. Look at this giant Charizard this thing's got, bro. God damn. I personally don't like going Gigamax. I find it to be a gimmick. But I guess since you guys are watching, we might as well make it a thing. We might as well just let it happen, as they say. I only have half life, bro. Oof. Oh god, oh god, oh god. What was that? Guys grew. Is it going to affect water tanks? Oh, what a foot. Of course it's super effective, brother. What do you think? Look at that. The water restores my HP. Why would he do overgrowth? Why would he do overgrowth when it causes the rain to fall? That would only be, that's only good for a water Pokemon. The rain falling is actually fucking around with his fire. It's making him weak. Why would he make that mistake? Alright, 1 second. It's so risky, dude. I gotta sacrifice an attack for some defense. You're either attacking or you're defending. You're either attacking or you're defending. This is the game known as Pokemon. You're attacking. I don't understand this overgrowth move, bro. Why would you do that? Let's go back to Max Geyser. I still. It's not weakening. Oh, okay. I guess it's weakening me a little bit, but then the water that's going back is restoring my HP. Take a seat, dude. Look at this nigga in Leon, bro. Canine grew to level 64. Okay, Driploom. Okay. That's what we like. Throw it up for my set. Throw it up for my set. Look at that. See how he just accepted defeat? Almost like he knew that a real nigga was pulling up, bro. It's almost like he knew a real nigga was pulling up. What's gonna happen now? Is that like the end of the whole game? Alright. What's he going to do now? This can't be the whole game. I was still traversing those random islands. Something interesting better come from this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fool gods. Oh my fool guys. It's time we adults started working on improving the here and now. Jesus. Alright, okay. Look at this thing in the crowd, bro. That nigga in the crowd wishes he could be me, bro. Of course I'm the champion, bro. You niggas out here talking to the guy as if I'm not the champion, as if, what else could I possibly be? Who else could I be? Well. Okay. Oh, well, look at that, guys. We beat it. Whatever that means. have to watch this? We're forced to watch the whole thing? Oh my god. Fine. We're forced to watch the whole thing. I did not anticipate beating him to be this whole, but I guess the end credits have always been a thing, so it's not like it's anything new, to be honest. So. These niggas are dancing like they just won the fucking World Cup, bro. Men's are going at it like they just won the World Cup. They didn't do that. They just won. I won against Leon. Dude, if anybody should be celebrating, it's me. You got these crazy fucking Pokemon beating drums, bro. Like their super god, Nibiru, will come down soon. They're just beating the drums, beating them. Wild. I do like these end credits. It is nice, it is very mellow and very relaxing. But I'm pretty sure there's still more to do. Just like they'll tell you, I'm pretty sure there's still more to do. More monsters to catch. More demons to play with. Well, I guess that's the end of it, right? That's the end of all the Pokemon streams. It's just one singular stream. That's crazy. I give myself away, I give myself to you. It seems that there seems to be what it used to. And when the stars they shine, they say what's up. I look to you, I look to me, I say, oh, baby, what's up with you? I'm just trying to sing along to the Pokemon song, and I figure, ah! Yeah, yeah. You gotta get in. Get in, get fully. There's like a wasp in here, bro. There's like a wasp in here that keeps messing around. You know that annoying buzzing sound? Oh, it's getting right into my head top, bro. It's hurting me. It's making my whole body hurt, bro. Yo, you guys, how long are these end credits, bro? This is crazy. I guess we just like. In the meantime, I'll just sit here and answer you guys. Yes. Yes, viewer number 5. I do actually make music. Making music was like the first thing I started doing a while back. At least 10 years ago. 10 plus years at this point. Making music was my first thing. So that's why I do have some of my songs up there. Alright, we're back in the Pokemon stream now. Well, I wanted to sit there and answer all your guys' questions. I would have loved to do that. Yeah, of course. Who am I without my chat? I love you guys. Who are we without dying chat? Alright, let's see if we can get back into just enjoying life in the game. Oh, whoa. Is it calling me back? What's this old lady want? Just handing out Master Balls, huh? She's just handing out Master Balls to people, bro. Alright, let's go, shorty. She's just handing out Master Balls. Like she just has a big, big box of them. Dirty, dirty, deep down in the basement. Boom. Let's go, bitch. Oh, so now there's no tasks. Oh. So now it's just explore. Well, let's go back to the region as it's showing us where it seems that the legendary Pokemon is lurking and hiding. Oh my god, the last thing you want to do is have a battle with these fucking foot dudes, bro. Suck my booty. Last thing you want to do is... Fuck! Well, if this isn't a disrespectful matchup, I don't know what is. It's like, it's pretty much, it's an insulting. It's insulting. You're gonna pull up, I mean, what, level 12 or some shit like that, dude? A nigga like me? Level 67, bro? Stop it. That's one of those decisions you make before you leave the fucking house. You say, hey, bro, maybe today we don't punch above our weight class, huh? Then we can hope to survive yet another day in the world of Pokemon. Pokemon don't have health insurance? In case you didn't know. Pokemon don't have health insurance. So when you beat a nigga's ass in the wild, you think it's just some sort of easy feat? To go see Nurse Jenny? Or Officer Jenny? No! Pokemon don't have health insurance, nigga! Come on! Alright, let's get it. Alright. Look at this nigga, man. Look at this nigga, bro. Ah, xCephasx, what are you doing here in the woods? What about you? Nah, well, I don't really care what he's doing. I might as well just tell him the truth is, I'm the greatest. I came here to catch the fucking Pokemon. I'm telling you, this bee, bro, this wasp, it's looking for trouble with the boy. Oh, thank you very much, actually. I really appreciate that. Okay. Bro, well, I mean, my guy. You're making this a lot harder than it needs to be. Would you like to be up for one more battle? You know what? If it's me against you, I'm ready to fucking punch you. Oh, is it not against you? Oh, it's me and you? Ah, come on, bro. That's disrespectful to the whole clan. As my fellow pastormen would say, that's disrespectful to the cloth, young man. So for this guy to think he can just battle me after I just whooped the champion's booty hole? And then this guy shows up? Without even climbing the ranks, he automatically has instant access to fighting the champion. This is a clear recipe and a clear video to watch of the mastery of having a proper network. Because of his proxy and friendship to me, he says, oh, congratulations on winning the championship. I would also like to battle you now. Now by proxy, he just jumped up the ranks, dude. And now he's gonna battle me. What an idiot, dude. What an idiot. What an idiot, dude. I'm gonna absolutely demolish this nigga, dude. Cause that's disrespectful, bro. I'm gonna wipe the floor with your face, dude. Disrespect. That's disrespectful to the whole game of battling, dude. The nigga just woke up, boom. Yo, my friend is the league champ. Let me just battle him. Yeah, okay, sure, buddy. I don't know what next Pokemon is. A Pinchurin? What the fuck, bro? Why are you coming out with Pokemon like this? Because he's electric, right? I don't even know what I can do with that. Nah. Let's switch Pokemon. Because I don't know what type his Pokemon is. Oh god. Oh god, that was devastating, dude. Cremorant. Oh, I know about this nigga. Yes, we'll switch. I know this nigga's a water tank. I know that much. Oh, I thought it was a. What a mistake I made, bro. I made a grave mistake. I thought the nigga was. I thought the nigga was the lava camel tank. And now look what we're doing. We're giving this thing a confidence. By allowing this guy to hit us like that, we're giving him confidence, bro. He's gonna take it back. He's gonna take this little spark of confidence back to the bedroom with his lady, dude. Can't have that. Can't have him doing that, bro. I need this nigga to underperform in all things related to Pokemon battling. Yeah, all right, buddy. Like, I need the defeat that he's going to maintain and achieve in this battle. The defeat he's going to accept. The L he's going to wear on his fucking forehead. I need the L of this to resonate and bleed into other aspects of his life. It's a must. It's a must. The loss of this battle has to reverberate in other areas of his life. His work life, his dating life, all the other aspects. And they all crumble and fall apart, dude. Guys, I'm disrespected by this nigga thinks that you just jump the ranks, dude. And come and battle. Absolutely disrespectful, bro. To the art of Pokemon battle. Real boom. Bro, what are these fucking stupid Pokemon names? I don't know what a real boom is, but some of my Pokemon haven't stepped out to dance in a minute. Oh, I should have put out a fire Pokemon. What am I doing? Yo, Johnny, what am I doing? I should have put out a fire Pokemon. But I didn't. Johnny, what am I doing now? The only reason why like this is actually by having any why I'm setting any sort of chance is because my Pokemon are high level. That's really all it is. Jesus Christ! I spoke too soon. about to eat shit, dude. Sit down finally, friend. Finally. After all these battles, finally, Rayperion gets to come in and make some noise. Finally. They're not going to be super effective, but it's going to be enough to, you know, cause some damage. Doof! 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 Critical hit, bro. Bring out Jinx. Jinx hasn't had time to shine. When's the last time anyone was talking about Jinx? First of all, one attack, bro. One ting of ice? This thing is sitting down, dude. One ice tank is sitting down. Whoa, really? Oh, God! He really wanted to let me know that he also is not playing. He also is not playing. That's what he wanted us all to know. It's not a problem, friend. As am I. I'm also not playing. This nigga is really putting on some damage, huh? That was nasty work. Nasty work. This guy really believed he could just step up to me, dude. What a gooner, dude. I mean, at least he tried, you know? So there really is no hope of beating you. Yeah, exactly. I need that to cement into his little brain. There's no hope of beating you, bro. You made the mistake of thinking that you could do that. Look at this. Thank you, it was nothing. 1 second. I need this thumbnail. Oh. We're not grabbing thumbnails anymore? Alright. Well. His eyes aren't open? I wanted them to be open. Be able to grab this thumbnail. Alright, relax, shorty. Wow. I'm the professor now. Let me drive the boat. Wow, 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 wow. Somehow she finagled her way into this position. Listen, Sonya, I'm not buying it. Dude, what's the ting right now? What are we doing? That must be it. So do I feel like we called you? No, I was called here because the last intro credit showed me this place. And so I figured, you know what? Might as well come out here and say what's up. Alright, there's a battle ting? Okay. Fucking bitches and always want to take photos. I always wanted to take pictures, dude. She needs to calm down. So that's it. I just returned. Wow, who's these niggas, bro? Look at this nigga. Whoa. Check this nigga's hair, bro. 1 second. Check this nigga's hair. Look at this guy's hair, dude. Look. His hair is literally in the shape of a sword. Absolutely fugazi, bro. They should not have invented hairspray for that nigga, man. I'm Sworded and I'm Shieldbert. We're the new kings of Galar? No. These niggas are just random influencers, bro. These niggas are essentially the equivalent to the Island Boys. Obscene hairdos, obscene outfits. Wow, I placed it there and then they just came and they just snatched it. They said, no, it's ours. The only thing that you guys own is this ridiculous hairstyle, dude. A plebeian! Oh, goodness. Such a plebeian. And yet so pushy. Yo, these niggas are disrespectful. If it's really so important to you, perhaps we should settle this with a battle. What does that even mean, dude? These niggas, bro. So all these things are gonna be shield-esque Pokemon. What a fucking loser, bro. Farfetch'd? A Surfetch'd. Not a Farfetch'd. Don't make that mistake. This is Surfetch'd. Different nigga. Same house, same families, different house. Eek! Frozen Solid, you bitch. Wow. I guess you guys can't see when the niggas are about to go down. Look at that. Dead, bro. Sit your ass down. No, I don't even know what the next. Clank. Fuck. We should switch Pokemon. We should bring out Obsidian. Oh my god. We're fighting this nigga. I never even got the chance to power up. It's a very unfair advantage that he's got. A very unfair advantage. Whoa. Make it rain on his bumbaclot head, bro. Make it rain on it. Make it rain on it, in case you're wondering. In case you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, should I drop something on the idiot's dome top king? Yeah, you should drop some on his dome top. I don't even know what we're switching to, but sure. I'm sure fire will make some noise. What is this? Flamethrower. I still am debating between Flamethrower and Fire Blast with Arcanine. Which one is a much better suited attack? That is. I'm definitely gonna leave a bruise in the morning, Jack. That's definitely going to bruise, Bobby. It's not some pain the dog hasn't endured before. It's not some pain. It's not as though it's not any pain the dog hasn't endured before. Hey yo, what's up, Jits? Jits Nora 3. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Pokemon stream. All right, let's see here. Pokemon is about to send out Bronzong. Bronzong. I think we will need a Psychic Pokemon to take this thing out. I mean, I don't know. Bronzong, Steel, Ice, right? Fire. Actually, you know what? Oh, yeah, it's time to beat me hollow. Yeah, sure, buddy. Oh, yeah, man. You play any other games? What games do you want me to play, friend? What other games do you guys want me to play, chat? Today we're playing some Pokemon. Tomorrow, I don't know. Alright, let's get into this. This thing of Bronzong needs a heating, bro. I can play anything. Oh my god! And the burning is going to take him down. Wow, it didn't. It didn't. Oh, it did. It's over. Fainted. It's fainted, bro. Alright. Let's see here. No, I'm not affiliated. Should I be affiliated? Who should I be affiliated with? If I should be affiliated, who should I be affiliated with? Big questions. Not enough answers. Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah, because this guy's an idiot. Dude, look at his sword jiggle around on his head top, bro. Ew. Sure. Why not? Sure, why not, buddy? Sure, why not, friend? You're concentrating at all. You were concentrating at all during. Yeah, of course not, bro. That's what I'm saying. Dude, you're fighting this nigga. You should have at least locked in. What? Oh, wow. Now we have to chase these head top youths, bro. We have to chase these head top youths. Hold on. Yeah, of course. What does this mean, guys? You have Discord? Dude, they're always trying to show me something in the chat. I don't know why you guys are always trying to do that. Trying to shill a young man. Got something to do with it. He looked upset about something during the battle. Maybe that has something to do with it. His own rival became the new champion, and his goal vanished before his eyes. Is he gonna take a deep, dark, existential crisis because I became the champion? Well, he battled me still and he lost. So, I mean, that probably isn't helping his mental health at all. Shall we go over to the lab in Witchers? Of course. Let's find out. What do you... Are we gonna teleport? Oh, fucking... Fucking bitch, dude. Fucking bitch just got up and left. Fucking bitch just got up and left, brother. Thought you gonna just get up and leave a nigger like me, brother? You just got up and you left a brother like me, baby girl. You just left a brother like me. Why? You didn't even talk about it. We didn't even chat about it. You just got up and you're gone, baby. Baby, you just got up and you're gone, and I don't like that. Look at these niggas battling it out of the grass. What a bunch of fucking idiots, bro. What is this guy? Meh. Meh. Wow. Alright, hold on. Are we in Wedgehurst? I believe I've gone too far, sir. You've gone too far. Oh, you were there in Wedgehurst, didn't it? The Pokemon Research Lab, innit? Wedgehurst. Where is that Pokemon Research Lab now? I've been searching for the Pokemon Research Lab my whole life, Captain, and I've yet to find it, innit? Just gonna randomly walk into this bitch's crib real quick. Say what's up. Yo, nigga, what's up with your head top, fam? This ain't no Pokemon Research Lab. Instead of going to help my friend who's slowly spiraling since the multiple defeats, you got a nigga out here looking for the shorties. And why am I still in this drip from the mountain, dude? It must be sweating, dude. This nigga must be sweating his ass off. That's the train station. So now where is the tank, dude? Where's this research lab? Ah, don't tell me it was all the way back there, dude. Look at that. Look at this, bro. Bro, I don't know, man. You niggas on here always trying to shill something to a brother, bro. Quit shilling me things. Oh, look at that. We made it. We made it. Look at Sonya, man. Who is this? She's my assistant. Yeah, well, you never said anything about her last time, bro. You just pulled up on a nigga like that? She can't even accept a compliment. What a lame. She can't even accept a compliment, dude. She's working, but her self-esteem, really, low, 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 low. Well, yeah, what does all this information mean, bitch? You're just yapping, dude. This is a good photo for a ting. Hey, that's a good thumbnail photo. Exactly, exactly. That's it? Turf Field Stadium. You could always Dynamax at that stadium, so that's not exactly unusual. But these things are way higher than normal. It could be Turtanus. You already caught it. Maybe it's something related to the Sword and Shield weirdos. You know, they're always getting a young nigga like me to fucking fix things, man. Knowledge is power, guys. In case you're wondering, in case you're all sitting there thinking to yourselves, oh, what could possibly be the key to eternal happiness? Knowledge. Which is why I sit here and I roam the halls of this beautiful science lab, stealing all the knowledge. Alright, well. This game is a really good example of not having any free will. Does my character really truly have free will? No, he doesn't. He goes wherever everybody else tells him to. That's where he goes. He doesn't do anything for himself. He goes where everybody else tells him to. Say, hey, go here, fly here, do this. And he just goes. It's a sad life, really. If you really think about it. There's no autonomy. Okay, but we gotta heal these Pokemon because we've been walking around with unhealed Pokemon and it's actually really disrespectful to the craft. Fun fact, if you walk around with unhealed Pokemon, your Pokemon, they lose that bond and love that you have with our little Meisters. Yes, it's true. Believe it or not! Welcome to Ripley's Believe It or Not. I really hate this drip that they got me into, by the way. The music weirdly became this weird ska shit. I don't know if you guys paid attention to that. Did you guys pay attention to that? The music quickly became ska. Hello there, champion. So you came. What's going on here? How carefree can you be? You're the new champion. You're bigger than a Dynamax Pokemon right now. Oh, whoa. Thanks for inflating my ego. Thanks for the glaze. Easy glaze. Easy with the glaze, boys. Hanging around all these niggas already whooped their ass. All they can do now is just glaze me, bro. I must have heard right. More Dynamax are running the smoke. What's your blight, Hop? Hop, I'm disappointed in you, bro. Yeah, he showed why he's not actually a Pokemon master. He couldn't be, dude. Because he didn't beat the Sword and Shield weirdos. I did. And then he battled me and he lost. So I continue to show my strength. Well, he slowly spirals down into the abyss. Sorry, I'm tangent storyline. Let's go fight these guys. Let's do it. I don't know why you niggas are out here just cooling. No one's doing anything. Alright, 1 second. Let's do it. What does this have to do with anything? This random Pokemon. Why would anybody want to catch that? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The attack overgrowth is for grass Pokemon. It's for grass Pokemon. Why does it have to play into why did Charizard have it? Right? Why did Charizard have that? Oof. That really sent me, huh? Everything Hop does has to be questioned. Everything he does from this point forward has to be questioned. This is one of those grueling matches, bro. This is a grueling match. I didn't even get one chance to throw anything, dude. Stone Edge. At least let me throw one Stone Edge in there. It's good, bitch. He revived it. After this thing almost killed us. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, the Dynamax stuff is stupid. I didn't see nothing. Oh, here we go! The Footdew brothers. One more battle with the Footdew bros. Bro, you're so eager to run down there. It's like, bro, you were bodied last time, bro. Don't forget that. You were bodied last time, bro. It wasn't just like, oh shit, boom. You know? It's like he was bodied, bro. Alright, let's go. Alright, well, let's go. I don't know why we gotta follow these hoodlums around the whole entire map, bro. The intro of this audio that I just played, it almost sounds very much like Californication. Sure, explain exactly what happened. Why exaggerate, dude? There's no need for hyperbolicness, bro. I pulled up and we whooped ass. Okay, but now, where are we going, dude? Oof. Hillberry Stadium. Okay, let's go. Let's make our way down to Hillberry Stadium. Who are we without Hillberry Stadium? Alright guys, let's make this happen. They ain't trying to ride with us. Tommy. Fucking harmonica is wild, dude. Who is this, Batty? Oh yeah, the water shorty? Nessa? Batty, bro. Whoa! Hyper Gyarados, huh? Okay, guys, okay. Intimidate. We get it. Intimidate is intimidating. We understand. Oh, my nigga's dead. Get him with Ice Beam. And then sit yourself down. All these battles things and no one is even giving me recharge or free HP or anything. Very sad. Oh god. It's gonna be a grueling battle, bro. I don't know what that was. Why are we still alive? That's the real question. Why are we still alive? This thing is going Dynamax every time. Listen, I have a problem with Hop, bro. I have a major problem with Hop. He's definitely not as cool as you think he is, dude. Or as strong. Wow. Absolute destruction. I'll never understand this overgrowth. I'll never understand it. What are these side missions right now, dude? What are these side missions? Oh god. Alright, well. Just like the rest of you guys, I don't get it. 41 hours. It's almost been 2 days I've been playing of gameplay. If you were to play it through, this would be 2 days worth. Anyway. Anyway, guys. Well, what does this guy want from me, bro? What do you want from me, nigga, my guy? Okay. Shout out to Pokemon, bro. Shout out to the Pokemon stream. That was good, no? You guys like that? We can start throwing in Pokemon every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with playing a little game of Pokemon now and then. It's part of the stream. It's part of the stream life. Welcome to the life of streaming, whatever that means. Now you're all in it. We're all in. We're all here together as friends, as comrades and colleagues. You know? We're all here as friends and colleagues. Yeah, I think we can do Pokemon again tomorrow. Because I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That was nice. I really did enjoy that. All right, let's get into this next video here. Sneakers banned. Let's find out why. Oh, well, it's on mute.
Decided to hop out and do a tour of Southeast
Ah.
Asia and Oceania, which would be abruptly ended when he got banned and deported from Australia. Now, this all started off with a Sky News post, which is the Australian news
Sky
page,
News.
and they would report the following. Tony Burke has canceled the visa of the anti-Semitic American internet streamer Sneeko and slapped him with a lifetime ban, Sky News can reveal. And it says, Sky News first reported on Monday that the divisive streamer, whose real name has been given a visa by...
Bro, it's the crazy thing is that it's always Sneeko's association by proxy. Some of yeah, of course, the things that he says are outlandish and it's purposeful, but to have the things that you say on the internet have so much weight to the point where you're banned. He's banned from Australia, dude. A whole country said, no, we don't like that anti-Semite rhetoric around here, Ute.
Home Affairs and had arrived in Australia. Mr. Burke told Sky News Sneeko would never be able to return to Australia. Never. That's harsh. Our government has made it very clear that we will use every power available to us to protect our community from people coming to this country to spread hatred, he said. The clauses that have been used to cancel this visa were amended by the parliament early this year. That means it's not simply the current visa that's
Yeah, that's crazy. Spreading hate. The man's whole thing is long live love speech. At what point is he spreading hate? I can understand the affiliations and the people that he resides beside. I can understand that. The controversial figures like Myron or the Nick Fuentes, this can be understood. But to go around to say that the man walks around spreading hate, not a lot of, maybe the old Sneeko streams are like that, but the newer streams have nothing in that vein at all, bro. So that's crazy. Australia's really gaslighting the nigga, bro.
canceled. Sneeko's a U.S. citizen, so he gets a default visa with his passport to go to Australia. A lot of other nations, they need to apply to a consulate to get a visa to go to Australia. So the default visa that he gets by being a U.S. citizen, they're canceling that. And he can't apply for a new one either. That means it's simply not the current visa that's canceled. There's now a lifetime ban preventing him from ever applying for another visa to Australia. We are a better country when he is somewhere else. And then they talk about him being banned from various social media platforms. And they're also saying that he called for certain people to be killed, which I have never seen or gotten even close to seeing. He's never done that intentionally or called violence to any group of people whatsoever.
In this next clip, Sneeko also threatened to eliminate Jews.
What? Ew.
He's saying a well-known anti-Semitic slogan, which is widely recognized as a jihadist chant used as a threat towards Jews.
Oh, yeah?
Right now, he's here already in Australia. That's him with Sonny Bill Williams this morning. You might recognize him from his feature on Louis Theroux's recent documentary, Manosphere.
Yo, this lady is talking like a fucking bot, bro. Like a full-on NPC. She's talking like a full-on NPC that doesn't have any idea what she's yapping about. She doesn't have any context. Just whatever slipped on her desk that lovely Monday morning, she decided, let me spew it from the mouth and say a bunch of nonsense, bro. It's crazy.
Now, explain this. How was he given a visa when he's been banned from multiple social media platforms numerous times over the years, repeatedly? Banned from YouTube, it seems currently banned from Instagram, banned from social media, yet allowed into Australia. These are the kinds of people the Albanese government is letting in Australia, even while they're holding Royal Commission hearings into anti-Semitism. They wouldn't give visas to regular Israelis.
And this is really unfortunate because this is the biggest headline to come out of his entire tour. And that just goes to show that it's just the negativity that spreads. And that's also what I said is one of the negative aspects of being a live streamer that isn't PR friendly or some can consider divisive. Because he's meeting up with world leaders in Malaysia. I think he met up with like a prime minister. He did a very, very positive run of
Yeah, the things and the ethos and the message and his Mirandus operandi that Sneeko functions under, especially now having turned to Islam, is a more positive and uplifting message. So the fact that somebody would look and not even really dive deep into his content or look really into it and then turn around and say, oh no, he's spewing hate. I just don't see it, bro. I feel as though a lot of people sometimes when you are become that public figure, I think sometimes the negative aspects of what you do outweigh any of the good stuff that you're doing. Especially if you look at the fundraising initiative that he had also started for the people of Gaza, right? The fundraising initiative. And that no one ever really spoke about that even one time. They just want to focus on the negative stuff. Telling you, bro, you guys are crazy. Whatever gets the most clicks, I guess.
streams showing these different countries, showed up to the Philippines for the first time in who knows how long, and I believe he's half Filipino. So he did all of these positive things. None of that was spreading everywhere. People are probably going to be in this comment section, and you're probably like, yo, really? I haven't seen anything from Sneako since he got hit. Yeah, exactly. That's why you can't control what other people do, but you should be cognizant. If you feel a certain way towards somebody that you don't really watch much, then you're probably only seeing the low light. You're not seeing other things that they're doing, and you should reconsider. But yeah, like I was saying, he would reply to this and said, no, I'm just going home, and show a photo of him in the airplane. And then he continues and says, I do not fear you. And he says something quite haunting, which is, I am ready to die. And then he says, I was being followed by federal agents in Australia. Now, what they're saying here is because people were saying like, yo, he was actually in Australia. What do you mean you deported him? Well, they said Monday he arrived, and they said it was canceled on Tuesday evening. And that's when he was thrown out of the country. And if he had refused to leave, he would have been placed in immigration detention. The coalition had called for his visa to be canceled. Shadow Home Affairs Minister Jonathan Dunham said it was without question that the government should cancel Sneako's visa. For anyone who goes and Googles this individual, this strange character is a misogynist. He is an anti-Semite, Mr. Dunham told Sky News on Monday. He said it was just the latest exposure of Australia's broken visa system. This is crazy. And then during his visit to Australia, Sneako visited Ahmed Haraichi, also known as the Muslim Undertaker, who was the father of convicted ISIS member Borhan Haraichi. Now, this I did not know. He did have a video saying he met the Muslim Undertaker, or he interviewed him. I didn't watch that. So I don't know if this was like top. I did not watch that. I did see a couple of pieces of content, though, from Indonesia and Malaysia and Philippines, and it looked great. I didn't hear anything about no Undertaker. But this is an uncommon behavior from Australia. And I do think the Australian government is so far removed.
The crazy thing about the Australian government is that it's very similar to the UK and Canadian government as well. The laws in terms of being able to come and visit the country are like, they're very strict. If you are a public figure that I guess is against the conservative paradigm, then they won't allow you in. The same thing happened to Kanye West in the UK, and then the same thing happened to Tyler the Creator. Also, I think it was New Zealand and Australia and the UK also had banned him because the outlandish things they say. You have to sort of believe that they are still under monarchy rule, and by being under monarchy rule, like, people don't like to have these naughty mouth. You cannot have a naughty mouth when you are speaking in front of monarchy. Okay, so that's why most of these people, their controversy gets them banned. It's like, no, you're not pulling up to our country with your naughty potty mouth. It's too naughty and potty in it.
From the Australian people, because I've met a ton of Aussies in my time, and I've never met an Aussie that I didn't like. Like, these guys are just a good time. They're chill, they're cool, they're just trying to vibe out, they're always positive, they're bringing good energy. They're just cool people. Like I said, I've never met an Aussie that I didn't like. Now, Brits, and I'm specifically talking about white Brits, like not the Arab Brits, not the African Brits, that's the majority, but not the African Brits, not even the Asian Brits, which there are a few of, but just Brits are a hit or miss. Like, sometimes you're like, yo, what the hell is wrong with dude? This guy's weird. Like, or they're just off-putting. But Aussies, cool people. And they're just so free-spirited and chill. You wouldn't think that their government has been moving like this for a minute. Like, you're probably thinking, okay, like Sneako, he was affiliated with the Club of Cost. He was with Ye, which, by the way, Ye himself was banned. He was blocked, or I don't know if he wasn't permanently banned, but he was blocked from entering Australia. I don't know how long that's going to last.
Yeah, the Wireless Festival. They said, no, sorry, guys. Kanye's not allowed to show up to this festival anymore. Since he's not allowed to show up, guess what? The whole festival, they locked it down. Shout out to Kanye West for having that much influence. Shout out to having enough influence that the whole country wants to hate on you. What can we do?
Like I said, Ye's success over the years, people are going to not turn a blind eye, but they're going to be, okay, we forgive you. But the Home Affairs Minister, Tony Burke, said that they canceled his valid visa when the song Double H was released in May. This was last year, which is very interesting because he's married to an Australian, Bianca Sensori. She's an architect. It's funny because the BBC refers to her as Australian designer. No, she's not just a designer. She is an architect. That is its own license that we got to put some respect on. I have a couple of friends that, well, one of them became an architect and quit, and the other one tried to become an architect and realized that it would be miserable and quit. So yeah, this is not an easy road. That's why we got to give respect to the architects and their title. So yeah, the visa cancellation, and they were talking about it because of the Double H song. So they revoked his visa. I don't think he was intending on going there. But also, Chris Brown, when he got a DV conviction, he got refused in 2015. So he...
DV is back! Like I've been saying for the last couple of months. The domestic beep beep skirt situation, it's returned. It's in full effect. Like I said, spring it on your girlfriend tonight. After you bring back the steak and gravy and candles, spring it to her after that, after a couple glasses of Merlot. Spring a little DV on the shorty, bro. Tell me she isn't going to be smirking and saying, "Oh, daddy, I like that." I'm telling you, DV's back. It's hot again. We're right back in the 90s.
Wasn't able to tour there, and I still think he hasn't been able to tour there. I remember there was conversation maybe last year about Chris Brown potentially going back, but...
We don't condone violence. Obviously, it's a joke.
But we haven't seen anything like that. Candace Owens was blocked over like character test concerns, and just she was supposed to actually go there. I think like do a show or a tour or something like that. A speaking tour, I believe it was.
But this shows the level of control that the people above you want. Right? Your character, what you associate with, it can get you blocked on these platforms. Look what happened to Cavillicular. Look what happened to Candace Owens. Oh, because of her behavior, it's sort of irate. We can't let this one into our country. The idea of borders and everything, it doesn't really make any sense when you really look at the world in the way it is. It's just like, why can't I take a truck or a vehicle and just travel 150,000 kilometers this way in one direction until I end up in like Omaha or some random shit like that, and I just start living there? This idea of borders and controlling society is one of those things to me that's always kind of jarred my mind and said, why must we live in this broken manner?
And the reason why is because they said that her visit was not in the national interest. Yes. And they said from downplaying the impact of the Holocaust with comments about physician through to the claims that Muslims started slavery, Candace Owens has the capacity to incite discord in almost every direction. And this is Tony Berg speaking once again. So this Tony Berg guy, not only did he ban not Tyler the Creator, excuse me, Sneeko, and also Ye, he also was the one that banned Candace Owens. And Snoop Dogg, I believe he wasn't able to go for a very long time because of his criminal history, which is kind of normal. Like if you've got a criminal history, you can't really go to Canada. If you've got a criminal history in Canada, you can't really go to the US. Same deal with Australia. So Snoop, that got overturned and he was allowed to go after a period of time. But Tyler the Creator, for a very long time, because of his lyrics, he wasn't allowed to go to Australia, and he would constantly be tweeting about it. He's like, yo, Australia, please let me go there. And it was over misogynistic lyrics. Now this was over.
Yeah, this, like I said, the monarchy, they don't like games like this. The monarchy doesn't like this. They don't like that. They don't like you having a naughty mouth. Once again, I must reiterate, the naughty mouth. Can't have it. They don't like that. So you have to be careful, especially with your public image. You have to be careful how you present yourself, the things that you do and the things that you say, because your reputation holds weight. Who you are holds weight. This idea of you holds weight. So if you go around just saying willy-nilly, it's just not the way to go about it. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video all the way to the end. That was another classic Hassan. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Do it like you do it to me. We turn it up. Do it like you do it for me. Not enough. Do it like you do it to me. Burning up. Sorry. Sometimes you guys just have to bear with me sometimes. Because it's clear that the things that I do is like, I have mental issues. Alright, guys, let's get into this next one. We love Rick. We love Rick Beto. Who would we be without a good Rick Beto video? Let's jump into this. Why only rich kids making music today? I'm Rick. All right.
Making over the past couple weeks about where the music business is now and kind of where it was in 1994 when I moved to Atlanta when I was 32 years old. So the reason I moved down here was to try and find people to play with in a band and do my own music. There were music rehearsal spaces around town here that bands rehearsed at. There was probably about 4 or 5 of them. One of them was called Black Box. It had about 50 rooms or so. There's another one called Avatar that had a bunch of rooms, maybe about the same, with a couple of huge rooms that you could rehearse on a stage. There was another place called Metro that was near the Masquerade, which is actually in a different spot now, that my band rehearsed in.
This nigga's just yapping. Long yaps, bro, about his fucking come up, about his fucking little places he played his little music thing. Come on, bro. Get to the meat and potatoes. What does this have to do with the
that probably had
video?
35 different rehearsal spaces in. And there were a number of others. These were all full of bands that rehearsed all the time. So day and night, you can go in there. They're open 24 hours. You can go in and rehearse. This wasn't just Atlanta. This was every city.
Yeah, we get it. Yes. Everything was more thriving. Everything was more accessible. The sound sounded better. Blah, 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 blah. We get it, Rick. We get it. All right? Now, it's probably less because for the majority of people, they probably don't have the time. They don't even have the chutzpah to get together with other people and play music anymore. We are in a generation of lost souls that give all their energy to TikTok scroll feeds. So it probably in this day and age, the majority of people that do go are people that aren't stressed out by life, bogged down by life. So they have a little bit of Skrilla, and this probably allows them to make music. I'm just saying, guys. Come on, Rick. Get to the meat and potatoes, you foot.
If you went to Seattle like I did in 1992, there was a number of rehearsal spaces around Seattle that all those Seattle bands rehearsed in. But there were also rehearsal spaces in Phoenix and Los Angeles and New York City. Before I moved here in 1994, I was living in New York, 93, 94, and I played in Band Sarah, and I lived in the East Village. I lived on First Ave between 7th and St. Mark's. And how did I do that? Because I had a job as a bartender on a boat. And the money I made from that enabled me to not only pay for my rent, which you could never do today, but I also could go to practice spaces and practice with the 5 different bands that I played in, because they all had practice spaces.
Oh yes, the most dubious character ever to ever exist in life. Inflation. Oh, what a rickety bastard that one is. And it, there's no way you're gonna survive working out as a bartender on a boat making rent today, dude. Today, that's what I'm saying. When they say rich, it's not necessarily rich. It's just that there's so many expenses the average person has. You're kind of stuck not even being able to have hobbies. That's what I'm saying. The little scraps of life energy you have left over, which equates to money, people spend that on frivolous expenses, food, I guess, eating out, things of that sort, drinking with their buddies. So to pursue hobbies, no. They're too beat down by life. They don't understand what it means to have a hobby.
Manhattan. And then eventually, when you couldn't afford to do it in Manhattan, people went to Brooklyn, and now you can't do it in Brooklyn because that's too expensive. But the fact of the matter is that you could work a regular job and afford to do that. Like when I moved here to Atlanta, I worked as a music teacher in a store called Buckhead Music. I taught 50 students a week and made $500. And with that $500, I paid my rent, which was typically about $300-400 a month. I had roommates, and I paid for our rehearsal space. I chipped in with the other 3 guys in the band, and we also paid to go in and record. I became a producer in 1999. The first gigs that I did were local bands, and then I got some major label things. Like I did this band Left Front Tire that had a song on the American Pie 2 soundtrack, and then I got this band Shinedown that I did a few songs on their first record, which was a double platinum record. And eventually, over time, I did a few more major label records, but those records and budgets started to go away around 2005.
Just when you want to hate on the nigga, bro, he shows you his catalog. It shows you why he's a flex master, bro.
The financial crisis, 2008, rock music basically died around 2012, right when Facebook and Twitter came online.
But now rock music is back. Take heed.
And we were in the social media era, full on. If you go back to the late 90s, you started seeing these boy bands, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, you saw Britney Spears, and then you had this whole, I guess we just call it manufactured music, that had professional songwriters and producers that worked on music, and then that started to bleed into things that I produced, because I was one of the people that did that. Why do I bring all this up? Because now we're in 2026. When I do these top 10 countdowns on Spotify, I go back after I make the video and I look at the artists, and I see what their background is. And invariably, the artists that are popular, almost all of them, are from wealthy parents and work with professional songwriters. Now, having wealthy parents is not something new in the music business. Taylor Swift's dad, Scott Swift, invested $500,000, I think it was, into her record label, Big Machine, back when she first started. Go to nowadays, you look at people like Gracie Abrams. Her dad, J.J. Abrams, you know who he is. He's a famous producer, movie filmmaker. Her best friend is this, or one of her best friends.
You see, this is the issue. The issue here is that does one need trauma to be able to make consumable art for the masses, right? This is the toss-up. If you have the money and you had this really cushy life, who's to say that the music you're going to be creating is going to have any sort of substance in it? This is the debate most people have, is that you can't make good art unless you have some sort of trauma to work through. If you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, how could you possibly have any trauma to transmit? But then his point then to that is that the songs in the top 10 are all from most artists that have some sort of financial backing. So I guess my entire theory there is trumped, because these are songs that the public likes from people that have no trauma background. Now, that is not to say that just because you have money, traumatic things can happen to you. No, that's not what we're saying. But it's just interesting to see this sort of dichotomy, you know? The game that is at play in the background credits of the music industry.
I just was listening to Audrey Hobart. Audrey has a brother that is also a songwriter called Malcolm Todd, but his name is really Malcolm Todd Hobart. Audrey has a couple million monthly listeners on Spotify. Malcolm Todd has 23 million monthly listeners, but their father was the writer and producer for Scrubs and The Middle. Sabrina Carpenter's aunt was the voice of Bart Simpson. We can go on and on. Most of the people that make it in the music business now have parents that are famous, or that are in the film or TV business or music business, or they're really wealthy. Because
yeah, that's true. The issue here, though, is that regardless of your parents' background, If you don't have the skills to cut it, no one's going to accept you. Look at such people such as Jaden Smith. When he started doing the rap stuff, it was kind of iffy, bro. He had to really work on his craft and really push his craft to be able to do what he's doing today. Even the presentation, the colors, all of that was something that he worked through to be able to get it to that point of being acceptable to the public. So it's like, yeah, sure, you could be a Nepo baby, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to accept you.
Only wealthy people, unfortunately, for the most part, can focus on music and doing music as a career because they don't have to work. Now, they may have jobs and work, but they don't have the pressure of that. Not only that, but they have their parents that can put in the money to hire the biggest producers, engineers, mixers, and songwriters to come in and work with their kids. That doesn't mean that their kids don't have talent. Gracie Abrams is a great singer. I say this a lot of time, instruments don't play themselves, right? So you can be the child of someone famous and wealthy and also be an
And also, having money doesn't buy taste. This is another thing you guys have to also understand is don't be fooled by the rocks these rich people are throwing out there, dude. Just because you have a shit ton of money doesn't necessarily mean you have taste. Taste is something that can't be taught. Can't teach taste. Either you have it or you don't. And most people who have a lot of money are really boring. So there you go.
Excellent musician. If you look back historically, bands like the Beatles, Black Sabbath, AC/DC, The Who, The Kinks, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins, Oasis, The White Stripes, these are all working class bands that come from very humble beginnings and can tell stories based on their upbringing, something that rich people, frankly, can't do.
That's
if the
what
people
I'm
are not from
saying.
wealthy families, then you can bet on the fact that if they're pop artists, they are signed to a publisher that's a famous producer. Because most of the big producers out there, I don't need to mention names, I've interviewed some of them on my channel. These pop producers have their own publishing companies, and they might have 100 songwriters that are signed to their publishing company. And why is that? Because they can afford to pay them $50,000, $100,000 advances to live. Because the people need money to make their music, or you could say make their art, if you consider it art. I consider it art. It's their own type of art. There is no money in the music business like there was. Yes, people can make millions of dollars doing it, but it's such a small number of people that can do that.
Yeah, nowadays the music business is sort of segmented into people that are just like, we only aim for top tens. I only am a songwriter. You know, everybody is segmented now. And it's like, oh, you can't necessarily make much money off streaming. So a lot of people just, they'll have their online audience and then they'll just make a bunch of money just touring. That's where the money in music has always been in the events, not in the streaming of records and things like that. Music videos, yeah, every so once in a while, but most of the time when you spend money for a music video, you most of the time just recoup, right? You end up back in the black. All right, guys, thank you for the Rick Beto video, and let's get into some other sauce. Let's get into some other cool things of today. Shout out Mr. Beto, Mr. Beto. You know, with all these things that go on in life, you ask yourself, you say, I wonder what Mr. Beto's... Never mind, sorry. Sometimes even I get carried away at times. At times, even I get carried away, young blood. Even I get carried away. Even I get carried away, Jack. It's all good. Let's get carried away into the psychology and mental breakdown of a 90s baby.
1990s. They remember a world that doesn't exist anymore. They played outside until the streetlights came on, but also remember their first AIM screen name. They used encyclopedias for school projects, but also downloaded music on Napster. They're the last generation who had a childhood without smartphones, but came of age with social media. And that split, that created a psychology researchers are calling 90s kids syndrome. If you were born between 1990 and 1999, you occupy a space in history that will never be repeated. You're not quite a millennial. You're definitely not Gen Z. You're the bridge between two incompatible worlds, Cartoon Network and YouTube, Blockbuster and Netflix, playing outside and playing online. And here's what nobody tells you. That split childhood created adults who are simultaneously nostalgic for simplicity and fluent in complexity. And it's a...
Okay. Everybody wants to be over talking, over yapping, over sharing. The new generation now is not enough Prozac to put down a hippo. So many questions, guys, not enough answers. A generation of take a chill pill, scattered mind youth, such as myself. I'm not too sure. Let's figure out maybe what his point is that I can counteract as opposed to just yapping, you know?
affecting your mental health in ways you probably don't even recognize. Picture this. It's 1998. You're 8 years old. Saturday morning means waking up early for cartoons. Scooby-Doo, Rugrats, DuckTales. You pour
Yes,
yourself a bowl
yes.
of sugary cereal and sit
Yes.
cross-legged on the floor in front of the
Yes.
TV. No tablets, no streaming services, no on-demand anything. If you missed it, you missed it. And somehow, that made it matter more. After cartoons, you head outside. Not because your parents told you to, because that's what kids did. You played hide and seek until dusk. You climbed trees. You rode bikes through the neighborhood without helmets.
My favorite game growing up was I think it's like Thieves and Coppers or something, and then you run around on the top part of the, like, our apartment complex had like this leveler, like a level up. It was like a bridge thing that they put, or like an enclosure, but this enclosure was a stone top enclosure. Anyway, you could access it by jumping on the electrical boxes, whatever, mind you. And we would just run around in the back of the whole compound, just playing cops and robbers all day. Man, being a kid was so much fun, bro. And then the sun, when the sun would set, especially in the summertime, that golden sun, orangey sun as it warms you before it completely goes down at night, and then the mosquitoes come out. Yeah, this is true. The simplicities of life, bro. Most of these kids these days, they don't even go outside. They don't know what it means to be outside, playing outside. When meeting up with your friends meant actually leaving and going to link up with them. Making sure, you know what I mean? The idea of time was more set. It was like, oh, I'm going outside. We don't know, blah, boom. Now you're indoors, you know? These kids of today, the technology, they don't know what it means to have a conversation and to just be alive. All these kids are slowly perishing, dying, wilting away to nothing.
Or supervision. Scraped knees and muddy clothes weren't emergencies. They were badges of honor, proving you'd actually lived that day. According to research on 90s childhood, kids spent an average of 3 to 4 hours outside daily.
Damn.
Today, less than 30 minutes. A 2023 WHO study found that over 80% of today's adolescents don't meet recommended physical activity levels. But you were the last generation that experienced unstructured outdoor play as the
Right.
default, not the exception. You didn't need fancy toys. A stick became a sword. An empty lot became a battlefield. Your backyard transformed into whatever your imagination.
The only good thing a man can do with a stick is strip the bark and then turn it to a sword. Or a good walking stick. That's really all it is. It's either a sword or it's a walking stick. There's no in between. That's how you know how strong somebody is. Do they find a sword? Do they find a stick and turn it into a sword? Or do they find a stick and turn it into a bow staff? Like an idiot.
Needed it to be. And because you couldn't Google what to do when bored, you developed something rare. Creativity born from emptiness. The ability to generate fun from nothing. But here's where it gets complicated. You didn't just grow up analog. You lived through the transition. You remember VHS tapes and rewinding them before returning to Blockbuster. But you also remember when DVDs felt like magic. You used dial-up internet where a single web page took 5 minutes to load. But by high school, you had broadband. You typed school papers on actual typewriters in elementary school. By middle school, you were using Word documents. According to researchers, 90s babies
Wild.
experienced a unique blend of traditional education and the beginning of tech-based learning. You spent hours in libraries using card catalogs and encyclopedias. But you were also the
That's
first
true.
generation to use computers in school regularly. You're bilingual in a way.
Bro, like, writing essays and doing all of that stuff back in the day was such a fucking piss off, bro. Like, the internet gave you only so much information. The majority of the information were still in books. The majority of info was still in books. You had to open up this book, physically read it, take the information, digest it, put it on this. It's like, there wasn't really a lot of info from the internet. And you would get in trouble if you used too much information from sites such as Wikipedia. That wasn't a valuable source back then. They said, no wiki. Anything else but the Wix.
No generation before or after will ever be. Analog native, digital fluent. And social media? You remember life before it. You had actual privacy. When you did something embarrassing, only the people there knew about it. No phones filming, no viral videos, no permanent digital.
And as if the people that were there during your embarrassing moment wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Wasn't nerve-wracking enough, dude. It was completely nerve-wracking. You could never live it down, dude.
Record of your worst moments. One 90s baby put it perfectly. We all talked crazy amounts of shit about each other and did shockingly inappropriate things, but we never had to worry about it ending up where everyone could see it. You got to figure out who you were in private. That's a luxury that will never exist again. But then MySpace launched when you were a teenager. Facebook opened to everyone when you were in high school or college. Instagram appeared as you entered adulthood. You learned to curate yourself.
I think this is one of those issues where I kind of struggle with that as well, is because as much as I spent time on the phone growing up, it was more in the sense of just spending time on the phone to either call for certain things, or when you briefly spoke to family members, or when you were just trying to link the homies to figure out where the next hangout is. So for me, I even growing up, it was never really big on the tech stuff. I was more just big on spending time in my room, being creative, and making Legos and stuff. And so I think the new age generation of always wanting to be on the telephone and texting, I don't really enjoy that. I will not be visible in text for like 6 months to a year, and then one day you just see me and I pull up, and that time is the time that I cherish. It's the quality time spent together, not the amount of messages and bubbles that we're shooting each other through with his iMessage and stuff. I find that the conversation and text message are always so vapid, bro.
To perform your life for an audience, to seek validation through likes and comments. And that shift, it split your psychology in half. Here's what researchers noticed. 90s babies experience unusually intense nostalgia. They call it 90s kids syndrome. And it's not just sentimentality, it's neurological. According to studies on psychological essentialism, people tend to believe their personal experiences are more authentic than others. And 90s babies? They lived through a fundamental shift. They witnessed the death of one world and the birth of another. So when they look back, they're not just remembering their childhood. They're mourning an entire way of life that disappeared. The rosy retrospection bias explains why you idealize the past. Your brain filters out the mundane and distressing parts and preserves the emotional highs. It's not that the 90s were perfect. You just remember them that way.
The ruby roses. Looking at life through ruby tinted roses. Like it's supposed to just be amazing, and you know, which is why if you ever looked at the logo for the bunny, he has the red glasses. It's ruby tinted lenses, guys. Looking at life through nothing but the joyous and good times and forgetting all the negative bad times.
Because what you're actually missing isn't the decade, it's the feeling. Being fully present without constant comparison, living without performing, existing without documenting. One researcher described 90s kids perfectly. They are the living testimony endorsing the fall of antiquity and the rise of modernity. You're the only generation that can compare both worlds accurately. You know what was gained, you also know what was lost. Here's the part that's harder to talk about. A study from the University of California, analyzing over 27,500 adults, found something devastating. People born in the 90s have worse mental health than any previous generation. Depression, anxiety, and other mental disorders are significantly higher among 90s babies compared to those born in the 80s. And these disorders get progressively worse with age. The researchers concluded that technology and social media use are primary factors. But it's more than that. You were raised with one set of values. Emotions and sentiments controlled us, as one researcher put it. Then, forced to adapt to a world where devices dominate everything. You learned that friendships were built through shared experiences. Then you watched social media turn connection into performance. You developed self-worth through actual accomplishments. Then you entered a world...
See, I don't know if y'all niggas noticed that, bro, but like when I used to go out to the club and stuff in like, I don't know, real unk right now, but like 2020s, like sorry, the 2010s, like the 2012s and 2015s and stuff like that, it was like things were still fun. People still had a sense of like of who they were, right? And then after 2015 onwards, when social media took that massive rise and boom, people just became so vapid and empty, and people stopped having fun. And now it's just like we live in this revolving door where it's like most people, either when they're texting in the DMs, whatever the case might be, we don't give other people any sort of time of day. It's sort of just kind of like, ugh, here's another person talking to me. Ugh, here's this other person talking. You're just inundated with so much communication that people don't even matter anymore. Whereas back in the day when it's like you would meet somebody, especially when you meet like a girl when you're out at a bar or something like that, that sort of time that you had to sort of get to know, that window, as I like to call it, was a lot, like she would actually indulge you more these days, back then. Versus these days, it's like, unless you have some cool hip thing that you're going to be doing, most shorties won't even leave the house to come link you, bro. They're not leaving the house just to come link you for food. They're not linking, you know what I mean? You're going to have some sort of extravagant thing already planned. Nigga like me had the fucking circus, and yet that wasn't enough. Jeez.
Where value is measured in followers and likes. That cognitive dissonance creates psychological strain. You're not depressed because you're weak. You're exhausted because you're living in two incompatible realities simultaneously. But here's what 90s babies have that other generations don't. Perspective. You know what life was like without constant connectivity, so you can put your phone down at dinner, take tech-free vacations, sleep without checking devices, because you remember what presence actually...
And that is what I value the most, especially these days. It's like, I can leave the house and not bring my phone with me. Like if I go to a club or a bar or something like that, it's like, you'll never catch me as the random nigga looking on the weather app. As if I'm some sort of meteorologist all of a sudden. Now I'm really intrigued by the weather in this room filled with baddies that I don't want to talk to. Most of y'all niggas fumble baddies because you're too busy trying to be a fucking meteorologist with the weather app, Yut. All right? Put that down. Live your life.
Feels like. You value authenticity over performance because you developed identity before audiences existed. You understand patience because you waited for things, for songs to download, for photos to develop, for your favorite show to air at its scheduled time. You learned delayed gratification wasn't just acceptable, it was normal. You have what researchers call a balanced childhood that straddled the line between analog and digital worlds. You climbed trees and coded websites. You played tag and played video games. You read books and browsed the early internet. That balance is rare, and it's valuable. Today, 90s babies are in their mid-20s to mid-30s. You're contributing to society in significant ways. You bring traditional values and technological fluency. You translate between generations at work. You bridge your boomer parents and your Gen Alpha kids. You're the mediators, the explainers, the ones who remember both before and after.
And that sort of dichotomy that we have as 90s babies is super important. And I value it so much because it allows me to have those moments where I can disconnect and not be too sort of obsessed with what my numbers are doing on the internet, how people are perceiving me, this, that, and the fourth. Is I can really take those moments and appreciate my current situation that I'm in. Whether I'm at the lake or I'm outside or I'm going out for a cup of coffee, it's just, I can have those moments where I'm disconnecting and I don't care. And the greatest thing that was able to sort of give me a sense of that freedom was Instagram. Once I stopped being on Instagram all the time and stopped using it to find clients or just using it for whatever I was using it for most of the time back in the day, it's just, I feel so much better with not being on Instagram all the time. Like, I feel free and liberated. Anyway, enough with the yap, you know? Enough with the yapping. But yeah, no, having that 90s nostalgia is important, bro. Because I'm telling you, the more and more we get lost into this tech stuff, the more the AI gods win. The AI gods are going to win. We won't be winners. I don't know who thinks they're just going to call me in the middle of my stream. Like, mid-stream. Mid-stream, someone's just yapping. How the low-end theory changed rap forever. I guess we're about to find out. How low-end theory changed rap forever. Let's find out, guys.
The punch. Experimental but still catchy. And behind it all, just a group of kids trying to perfect their sound. This is the story of A Tribe Called Quest. How they came together, how they created one of the most important albums in hip-hop history, the samples they used, and what producers today can learn from it. But before the low-end theory, we need to take it back to where it all began. The story begins in St Albans, Queens. Jonathan Davis, later known as Q-Tip, and Malik Taylor, aka Five Dog, were born a month apart in 1970. They met as toddlers in church and grew up just blocks away from each other. And growing up, Five Dog was taking in Cold Crush tapes at his grandmother's house, whilst Tip was raiding his dad's.
You know, Kanye always references A Tribe Called Quest as one of his favorite groups when it comes to making music. And I guess we're about to find out, because when it comes to a lot of like 90s hip-hop stuff, a lot of that 90s hip-hop stuff, man, you can fucking miss me with that shit, bro. I don't really get down with that whole boom bap stuff, bruv. Someone called Joey Badass. Tell him I don't like
jazz collection.
My dad had a pretty substantial record collection, and he would trade with my Aunt Effie, who was up in Harlem. They had a bunch of records. So I'd be like raiding everybody's joints and just listening to music.
And in the late 70s, aged 8 or 9, Tip's older sister would take him to local parties.
My mom would make my sister, who's like 6 years older than me, like take your brother with you if you're gonna go. So my sister would take me to the block parties.
And that's where he first saw DJs blending breakbeats live. Then came the first big hip-hop record, and it instantly lit a fire.
You know that when Phife and I first started rhyming, we were like 9. And we heard Rap is the Life, and he was the one who encouraged me.
Tip started making pause tapes, looping breaks manually with a cassette deck and a razor-sharp ear.
I would make pause tapes, which was a big thing for kids back in the 80s to do if you like had ideas for music, because we didn't have any setups, we didn't have any track machines, we didn't have any of that stuff. So we usually...
Bro, the process of music used to be so grueling, dude. Having to record from cassette to cassette, analog, punching things in, synth lines. It's not as easy as it is now with just pop open your GarageBand and make music. No, bro. Music used to be a very sort of tactical and analog-y thing, you know? So shout out to these niggas for still being able to wanting to create like that.
Yeah, with some janky ass stereo system that your moms or your grandmother had.
And by the age of 11 or 12, they were already scribbling down group names, dreaming of becoming Run DMC.
We were 11, 12, like just rap. I mean, we were goofing. I don't know if other kids would do this, but you know, you have your pad and you write out what the name of the group was and who was in it.
And around that same time, they'd meet Jerobi White, the third member of the crew, and he lived just over from Fife's grandparents. It was when Q-Tip went to high school that the whole world started to open up. He'd enrolled in Murray Bergstrom High School in Manhattan, a solid hour-long train ride from Queens. And he suddenly found himself surrounded by a new wave of creatives, all obsessed with hip-hop. And one of the first people he connected with was a shy, technically gifted DJ called Ali Shaheed Muhammad. And Tip decided to bring him into the fold quickly, introducing him to Fife and bringing the crew one step closer to the tribe we know.
The first time I met Fife, Q-Tip at the time had asked me to join the group, and there's a rehearsal space in Manhattan. That's where I first met Leak Ice, his name at the time, as in Malik Ice, because he was nice.
Ali had a deep love for breakbeats and a meticulous ear, and it was at that small rehearsal space where they started crafting their first demos together.
So I found this one in the city on 14th.
You know what's crazy? The crazy thing about like people linking together to make music is just, it's so cool to come together with people that are other like-minded individuals. Now, mind you, the biggest thing with me when it comes to having like any sort of super group is the idea of people's motivation waning sometimes. That can be a really big issue, especially because a lot of people, they'll start off with a fire, and then depending on how long you're going to be in the game for, some people just end up falling off because they just don't have it anymore in them, you know? And I find that to be the saddest aspect of doing things together with a group of people. I guess just the bottom line really is just enjoy it when you're there. Enjoy it in the moment when it's happening and the good times you guys are having, whether it becomes successful or not. The quality time that you guys spent making your art and craft, that is the success. As cliche or stupid as that might sound.
Street called Giant Rehearsal Studios. And every weekend we'd go there. Ali would bring his 4-track. We'd go there and we would record like our little routines. We'd be in there working. And we had like these little fucking wretched little fucking songs that we worked on.
But Ali wasn't the only person he met at Bergstrom. It was where he first encountered Africa and Mike G from the Jungle Brothers. Even Brother J from X-Clan went there. By 88, Tribe were finally carving out their identity, and the name that came completely by accident during a session with the Jungle Brothers.
The group was called Quest at the time. Tip was on the mic. He started the song by saying, "I'm from a group called Quest." And Africa was like, "Hold up." He said, "Say I'm from
a tribe called Quest."
And those sessions produced early tracks like Black is Black and The Promo.
Q-Tip from a tribe called Quest, sold the Jungle Brothers album. Oh, yes.
And both featured on the Jungle Brothers debut, Straight Out of the Jungle. From there, everything started to click into place. And they became part of a rising collective forming in New York, an alliance of like-minded artists. De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Queen Latifah, all under one banner, the Native Tongues. And this wasn't just the hip-hop that people were used to. The Tongues were digging deep, hunting for rare Soul 45s and jazz fusion records.
You guys managed to miraculously avoid using anything from Breakbeat Lou's Ultimate Beats and Breaks collection, a Wikipedia, of all the records that Bam and Herc would spin back in the day. With the Native Tongues, this is the first time that I'm hearing loops that aren't.
You know what's crazy about these kind of groups? They were really big in the 90s. Like, this was really big in the 90s when this had happened. You have these kind of groups that are coming out that are conscious, as we can call them. These conscious groups, these conscious hip-hop groups that are coming out that are flooding the airwaves, right? Because at first, this is what they're signing. They're signing the conscious hip-hop around this time. And then the music industry makes a shift and they start signing gangster rap. And the reason they start signing gangster rap is because the record labels are invested in the private prisons. And so to maximize their private prisons, they say, we can control the youth's consciousness by feeding them rap music that is gangster and drug affiliated. And then they will recreate those actions, thus putting themselves also into incarceration. Funny enough, it worked, which is why in the late 1990s or early 1990s rather, the sort of conscious hip hop rapper was taken off.
Aren't on that compilation.
Meanwhile, Tip and the group were introduced to legendary radio DJ, Cool DJ Red Alert, who was the uncle of Jungle Brothers Mike G. He started playing their demos on air, which helped to spread their name across the city. And this is where the label started getting interested. A deal with Geffen Records nearly happened, but fell through. Eventually, though, they landed at Jive. Not because it was the biggest offer, but because it came with what mattered the most to them: creative freedom. Tribe's first single after signing their deal was Description of a Fool, released in late 1989.
What you got to do with yourself? Can't you be somebody else?
And it got a lot of play in the New York and tri-state area, but barely made a dent outside of college radio. And by the time their debut dropped in April 1990, it was clear this wasn't just your typical rap album. Narrated by Jerobi, it played like a concept record, drawing inspiration from jazz, soul and funk LPs from the late 60s and early 70s. And most of the tracks from the album were based on demos Q-Tip and Ali had been shaping for years. Soulful, playful, and psychedelic. But one voice was noticeably absent. Fife wasn't featured much on the debut, with Q-Tip handling most of the writing.
I was still just running around being a knucklehead. I wasn't really coming to the studio like that, still running around doing what 18-year-olds do, I guess. Fresh out of high school and just tripping.
Even so, tracks like Bonita Apple Bomb, Can I Kick It, and the bizarre I Left My Wallet in El Segundo helped them build a cult following. And the album also earned 5 mics in the Source, a rare honour at the time. Yet Tribe still felt like outsiders, a little too weird for the mainstream. However, that would change soon because the next record was where it all came together.
In theory, we got it from the 808s. That's synonymous with hip-hop.
By early 1991, A Tribe Called Quest was standing at the edge of something new. Their debut had already set them apart, but this time they wanted something stripped back, punchier, more focused. And between the release of their first album and recording their second, 2 major events had taken place. First of all, Fife Dog had stepped into the spotlight. He barely featured on the first album, but now after a serious health scare and a moment where he almost quit the group, Q-Tip managed to pull him back in. Second of all, Jerobi had left the group completely, as he wanted to attend culinary school. And the recording of Low End Theory took place at Calliope and Battery Studios in New York. And behind the boards was engineer Bob Power, the quietly essential force shaping the native tongue sound.
Bob Power's the best engineer.
Look at this nigga Bob Powers, bro. Take a look at him. Wow. Look at that head top.
That we've ever worked with.
It's like a wizard.
It's so effortless for him. Went up in the studio, hit a couple of gadgets, a couple of buttons, and sound used to always come out just beautiful.
And at the time, digital samplers were still pretty primitive, with only a short amount of sampling time. And that meant Tribe were working with fragments, loops, one-bar chops, micro phrases, and Bob called himself an architect or a construction superintendent. His job, to make it all fit together.
Yeah, when it comes to engineering records, bro, it's really, you have to be so meticulous about it. There's all these little minutia of details that you have to pay attention to. You have to be privy to all of these things. And you have to really have a trained ear. This is why when people start sort of making music or mixing music, it takes a while before their ears are trained to really understand the sort of nuances and frequencies and stuff.
This follow-up record, Q-Tip decided he wanted to include live instrumentation. So he gave legendary jazz bassist Ron Carter a call.
Q-Tip called me one day. He said, Mr. Carter, I said, yes, we're putting a record together next month, and I'd like you to be on this record with us. We can talk about my terms. I said, the language you use has to be the kind that I would approve of. And it's not what I want to hear. I will be under that exit sign before you can breathe.
Behind the scenes, they were layering sounds in subtle ways, such as doubling the kicks and snares for way more punch. But it wasn't about booming sounds, it was about...
This is a tried and true tactic that I use all the time when it comes to my drums, is I double them up. I put 2 kick drums and then I'll put 2 snare drums. Sometimes if I'm feeling really exotic, I'll put 3 kick drums. But they're all playing in different parts of the frequency. One will be more low end, one will be more a mid drum, and one will be more a high drum. So then when they play together, it's more of a well-rounded sound, whether it's a kick or a snare, right? So tools of the trade, tricks of the trade.
Finding that perfect balance, and one now legendary mix trick, the Bob Power technique. He'd use something called parallel compression on the kick, blending a hard compressed version under the original, which would help to add impact without losing dynamics. Then he'd reach for a Pultec EQ, boosting at around 60 or 100 hertz, and then sometimes cutting at the same frequency, which would help to tighten the bottom end instead of bloating it. Finally, the API 550 AEQ helped shape the mids, letting everything below it breathe. The result, a low end you didn't just hear, you felt. And 30 years later, it still punches through your speakers, a blueprint for so many future records. Now I want to take a look at one of the tracks from the album and how and why it was built the way it was. So let's talk about Bugging Out.
Microphone check 1 2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughneck business. I float like gravity. Never.
And if you want to hear the shift from Tribe's first album to the Low End Theory, this is the perfect track. The production's completely stripped back. A chopped bass line, a drum break, and that's it. And the bass line comes from a 1977 jazz fusion track, and that's Minya and the Mooch by Jack Deonete's Directions. And it's an upright bass part that's been...
Bro, the crazy thing about all of this sampling back in the day, oh man, the clearances having to do with clearing these samples. Oh my God. That's an A&R's headache, dude.
chopped into this hypnotic kind of rhythm. Then you've got the drums, and those are taken from Spinning Well by Lonnie Smith.
Legendary loop. Legendary loop.
And they've been chopped and resequenced for that perfect swing. And both the drums and the bass have been really slammed to give it that punch. It's really simple, but that's the point. Compared to the layered, more psychedelic vibe of the first album, it's a perfect example of how the Low End Theory wasn't about doing more, it was about doing less, better. Now, before we move on, just a quick side note. If you're into this sound, I actually make my own samples too. One of them was even used on Five Dog's album Forever, which you can see just behind me there. And
relax, friend. Relax.
We actually sold out of the first 50 really quickly, so we've put up another 20. Here's the Low End Theory, an incredible album. It's also a production masterclass. And here are 5 key lessons I think producers can take away from it today. First up, less can be more. A lot of the beats on the Low End Theory are deceptively simple. One sample, clean drums, and minimal layers. But it works because everything has a purpose. Focus on what makes a loop special, and strip away anything that doesn't add to it. Just try to build around a single idea instead of overproducing. Number 2, use space as a tool. Bob Power mixed like a jazz arranger. Every element had its own frequency range and rhythmic role, and that gave the tracks clarity and punch without even needing tons of effects. So when mixing, think about the frequency space that different instruments are occupying. Carve out space with EQ, and don't let the sounds compete for the same range. Right, number 3, mono can hit harder. A lot of the sounds in Low End Theory sit in mono or near mono. Why? Because wide stereo can weaken drums and bass, especially in boom bap. Try mixing your key elements like kicks, snares, and bass dead center, and use stereo only when it adds subtle texture, not just adding width for the sake of it. Number 4, make the low end work. The album's bass isn't loud, it's tight and controlled, and that's thanks to that Bob Power trick. Parallel compression on the kick, then subtle pull tech EQ, boosting and cutting around the same low frequency to tighten it. So duplicate your kick, compress it hard, and then blend it underneath. Then use EQ to shape the low end, not just to boost it. And number 5, blend live and sampled sounds. Try brought in Ron Carter on the upright bass. Not to stand out, but to blend into the loop just like a sample. And that hybrid approach gave the album a really nice texture that wasn't heard at the time. So use live instruments and MIDI parts and treat them like samples. Filter them, process them, and make them fit.
That's what's up. Those are really good ideas, because I think, especially nowadays when it comes to making music on all these DAWs and stuff, you can really get caught up in just making things for the sake of making things. You have like 5 different synth layers, and I get it that you can really push things out, but like you said, simplicity is key. When you look at someone like Manny Fresh, the majority of those songs that they were produced for the Hot Boys was on a 4-track thing. All he could use is 4 different sounds to make these beats. And they're all bangers. Tell me they're not. Tell me they're not. Tell me something different, okay? Tell me they're not bangers. That's a lie. They are bangers. All right, guys. How you guys rocking with the stream today? How you guys feel? You here with your boy? I'm here with you guys. Psychology. Yes. The virus is spreading. The hot tea virus. You guys, there's a virus spreading everywhere. I guess we're about to find out why. Let's find out why this virus might take your life. And, well, let's find out.
In a huge update, they say nearly 40 cruise passengers exposed to a deadly virus, as we all know is the hantavirus now, they've already scattered across the globe as authorities scramble to track them down. Dozens left the MV Hondius ship without contact, tracing after a hantavirus outbreak that's already killed at least 3 people. The World Health Organization warns that while human-to-human
So not just did COVID pull up and say, I want to be the number one murderer. No. Another virus says, I want to also be a contender for number 1 murderer. All right, well, let's see who's going to win.
Transfer is uncommon. It's still possible. And by the way, I heard a flight attendant, I believe from South Africa, Johannesburg, who was a KLM flight attendant who helped the infected passenger from the MV Hondius, who was a Dutch woman who was sick. Basically, the flight attendant, after realizing the passenger was sick, she helped her out. And then the flight attendant, well, she's infected and now she's in the hospital, unfortunately. But they say that health agencies are now racing to locate passengers across multiple continents before more cases emerge. And I just gotta say, good luck. Good luck. Here on Twitter, someone said, are we effing that ass? With this Twitter poster saying, 2023, Corona ended, 2026, hantavirus. And
yeah, Hunter, bro. He sounds like he's hunting for something, fam. I don't know what it is, but it's not good. What is this? Just in the next 10 years? Look, that's a 3-year difference from when the man's pulled up. When this man said, I want to end my reign, to when this man's starting, 2026. So in the last 3 years, he's been boosting up, looking at all the stats and numbers of the last guy and said, no. What COVID did, nothing but a mere drop in the pool, in the well of evil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shake shit up. Shout out Hanta, bro. Shout out to that. I like somebody who's bold.
This tweet was made in 2022 before both viruses even came about. Well, technically, corona and hantaviruses have always been known, but clearly they're referring to potential epidemics, pandemics. And gotta say, that is kind of creepy. I don't know if they messed with the API or changed something, to edit the tweet to make it seem like he tweeted this stuff out before both things happened. But yeah, they're saying breaking flight attendant hospitalized with mild symptoms in the Netherlands had contact with woman who died of hantavirus in Johannesburg. So that's the flight attendant I was talking about. Someone in the comment section said, bros get a new unknown virus, and the first thing they do is take a flight. Well, the thing is, the woman, I don't think that woman knew she was sick with this specific strain of virus. And again, keep in mind the incubation period. A lot of people can leave that expedition or that boat healthy or thinking they're healthy, and then they could have caught a flight. She could have started showing symptoms while she was in the airport trying to go back home to wherever she's from, South Africa.
Just coughing on niggas, bro. She doesn't know. She's like, oh, I just caught this random cough where I was from. Next thing you know, she's vomiting on niggas, bro. Vile stuff. Now everyone on the plane's got Hanta. Everyone's got the Hanta virus.
Also, this tweet here I'm seeing floating around. They say Israel has confirmed their first recorded case of human with hantavirus reportedly unrelated to cruise ship outbreak. So yeah, do not confuse this with it being linked to this specific strain that is being transferred from human to human. This strain is very rare. The one that this Israeli got was from Europe, which was from a rodent. It's just the fact that they're reporting this now and the timing of it all is just kind of scaring people. But
all these bats first, now rodents and rats and like, ugh. What's up with these rodent species, bro? They're yuckier. They're yuckier than pigs, it seems. There's going to be a new writing in the Bible. It should say, do not eat the pork and do not eat the rats, for they carry disease as well.
Yeah, according to a leading report, they say hantavirus exposure may have reached up to 12 countries, which is multiple continents, which is very spooky to me, according to the World Health Organization. And according to this video from Shadow of Ezra on Twitter, he says the World Health Organization says passengers on the cruise ship need to start wearing masks again and completely isolate themselves in their cabins. And this is that video. Here's what.
So what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? You think we can really make it through another one? Another pandemic? Another stay-at-home closure thing? You think the world, there's already no jobs. Now niggas are staying at home, barely able to pay their current jobs, and now they're gonna be at home with yet another virus. Stay at home, guys. Don't leave the house. There's another virus. The world can't the world will shake. The world will shake. The demons will arise through, dude. Shaitan will show up everywhere. The world, we cannot take another closure of the economies, bro. I don't know what you guys are thinking. This is not it.
She has to say about this.
We know on board they have taken some precautions to try to minimize the risk. What they have advised on board is disinfection of the rooms.
Look at this
They have
bitch.
confined people
She's
to their cabins,
already
providing food and water,
infected by the
and they have
virus.
asked, as a precautionary measure for anyone leaving their room, to wear a medical mask.
Right.
We certainly advise people who are caring for those who are suspected of this Andes virus or hantaviruses to wear a higher level
I
of
ain't
personal
caring for
protective
nobody
equipment.
with the virus.
That guidance has been given
You
to
got
the
the virus,
people on
you're on
board,
your
but
own.
also there are the 2 patients that are in hospital in the Netherlands, and there's a patient in ICU in South Africa.
Yeah, also saying for my fellow Georgian residents, 2 Georgia residents who were aboard the cruise where the hantavirus outbreak happened are being monitored after arriving back from the ship. Their exact location is not known yet, so how are they being monitored if their exact locations are not known? I don't know. Let me just play the clip here.
2 Georgia residents are now being monitored after returning from a cruise ship linked to that deadly hantavirus outbreak. 3 people have died, and health officials are now tracking possible exposures across the country, including some here in Georgia right now. Our xCephasx Haynock is joining us live this morning from the Georgia Department of Public Health. Seth,
by the way, the CDC is literally located here in Atlanta, Georgia, so yeah.
I know you've been reaching out this morning to try and get some new information to kind of narrow down where in Georgia these 2 people live. Have you had any luck getting a response?
No luck just yet, Jonathan.
So the government scooped them up and said, we need to study these niggas with the hantavirus. And then now everyone's like, oh, we don't know where they are. Here's the news of today. Here's the story of today. The big story of today is that the people with the hantavirus, we actually don't know where the fuck they are. Yeah. All right, back to you, Craig.
I have a bunch of people texting me this morning who I know personally asking, where are these 2 people that were exposed to hantavirus in Georgia? In the last 10 minutes, the Georgia Department of Health did respond back, still, though, not confirming where exactly these people live right now, though they did send us the same information we received yesterday. I did ask, when will that information...
Right, so essentially all they're doing now is just enlisting fear. Oh, guess what? We found 2 people that had the virus, and now, guess what? We don't know where they're at. So they're just roaming freely through the supermarkets and through the gyms of society, and we don't know where they're at. You guys, oh, what a great story. Fuck is that, dude? Fuck is that? It's not news? The fuck?
Should be released to the public. We're waiting to hear back on that. But what we do know is that these 2 people that were exposed, they're not showing any symptoms, Jonathan. They seem to be healthy according to the health department. And
there's a lot of
how can you say that when you don't even know where they are?
Here. They're being monitored, yet exact locations aren't known. They appear to be healthy, but what? And they're not showing any symptoms according to the health department. Like, I can understand why some people may think this is intentional or calculated. I don't know what to believe. I think this may be Mother Nature just self-correcting. This may be just a freak accident. Like, you know, things happen. I don't know.
Are being monitored closely. We know that they were both aboard this cruise
They're being monitored closely. What?
ship where this hantavirus outbreak all
you
started.
can't find them.
3
How can
people
you
on
monitor
that cruise ship
something
have
you
now
don't know
died.
where it
The
is?
hantavirus, it's rare, but a serious illness. It's most commonly linked to exposure to infected rodents, and it can lead to severe respiratory complications. Now, some of those symptoms really look similar to the flu. They include fever, fatigue, muscle aches, headaches, cough, shortness of breath. Now, the Georgia Department of Health, we're waiting to hear back, but we hope to learn some more information regarding what exactly happened. We know that investigators are still looking into what exactly started this outbreak on the cruise ship. Live in downtown Atlanta.
This is, you see all the diffuse and vague language here. Hope appear to be, hope, like, no, I'm sorry, I want some hardcore facts here. They don't even know the direct source. They're just speculating because this typically comes from rats. And it typically is not able to be transferred from human to human. Clearly this is...
Dude, they don't know any of the information. They want you to believe they have information. They're just throwing anything that will stick on the walls, that will elicit fear in the public. Because if we know with anything, the thing that they want to spread first is the fear, the misinformation, the holes in the story. The stories that they gave out are vague. It's on purpose. If they wanted you to have the full story, they would, but they gave it to you in bits and pieces that you are then going to take and regurgitate to a bunch of people at your work or wherever you're going today, and you're going to tell them a bunch of facts that are misleading, and everyone's going to have all this misleading information. It's going to stir up the population. Oh no, there's a new virus. There's a new virus. There's trouble in the streets. What can we do? And then the government is going to pull up one day. They're going to knock on your door and they're going to caress your head and they're going to tell you, oh, you've been fearing this virus for the last couple of months. Here's the solution. Here's the vaccine. And then you're going to take it. And then you're going to grow a third head. Okay? So, I mean, do what you will with the intel. Do what you will with the information. But for what I know and what we've already lived through, we know, let's get ready for some major fucking bullshit, guys. This is xCephasx on CNN News, Channel 5. Oh, there's a new virus on the way. Oh, there's a new virus on the way. Oh, wow. What a lifestyle we're living, guys. What a beautiful life. Because the economy isn't already bad enough. The housing market, the food crisis, all these different things that we're currently living through is not enough. Right? As if everything we're currently living through is not enough. Now, we have to get ourselves involved into the days and happenings and everydayings of none other than Neon and Alabama Barker. Ladies and gentlemen, more bullshit. Let's go.
That's what I'm like. Butterflies in my stomach. Okay. Oh. Okay, it's no big deal. Isn't it so pretty?
The crazy thing about this is that she is leading Neon on, most likely already led him on, to his demise. As she decided, you know what? The brown guy's not going to cut it. I need to lay down with some BBC. And so she did. So I wonder what this is. Is this the apology?
What the fuck? It is. Yes. Oh my God.
What is this soundtrack in the background?
The music.
Yeah, who's playing that?
I told you I'm gonna outdo you. What? And this is because I'm so grateful for you. I swear to God.
This has to be the greatest, like, showmanship of being in the friend zone. The bitch brought out sparklers to let you know that you're nothing more than a friend.
No, but I'm really grateful for you. I love this song. It's my favorite.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sorry.
If this is something for him, why does this look so extravagant and look like a dinner for 10 people, dude? What is that about?
Sorry for canceling.
No, I don't give a fuck. This is crazy.
And I got you, butter chicken.
You got me Indian food?
I got you Indian food.
I'm so hungry.
I know you're hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to show you your gifts.
Now?
Yeah.
Like now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I see that you only wear black. Okay,
Yeah.
so a chrome black.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love it.
Chrome sweats.
Chrome.
Okay.
I wear. Oh
I
my
know
God.
you love sweats,
Okay.
right? We had to get
You're
you right.
speed running this.
Okay, let me go slow.
These are amazing. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Okay. These you can wear around the house.
Oh.
They're amazing.
Shit.
They're amazing.
Damn, they're so soft.
I will say this. When it comes to most things in life, most women are terrible gift givers. The last gift I ever received from a woman that was good was probably the wristband and headband combo from back in the day. From like in grade 6 when we had to do like the Secret Santa thing. That shit was hardcore, bro. And being a nigga like I am, the Secret Santa person that I got, guess what? I never got them a gift. So that tells you everything you need to know about me. A full dirt man.
Do they look big?
Should I try them on? I'll try them on.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But these are great
Those
for
fire.
the house. These are your house slides.
No amount of gifts.
I'm a big chrome
You don't have a
girl.
problem. I
We'll
always
fill
wear
the
my
hole
dirty
of being in the
slides
corner, bro.
in-house.
Okay, yeah, no.
Probably shouldn't have told you that. I don't do that.
This is a perfect example of Neon sitting cross-legged as he sits in the corner as Alabama Barker gets absolutely demolished by a 6-foot nigga, bro. Everything, every orifice destroyed. And this, allegedly, in my opinion.
What do you do?
I don't do that. I don't wear my dirty slides in the house.
Okay.
Yeah. Chrome.
I went to Chrome today and got this when I told you I was running errands. This is at the Chrome store and it was neon, so I was like, okay, fuck it. That's nice.
I never seen this this color.
Her IQ is so low, dude. Sometimes I ask myself, I say, maybe I'm asking too much in this society. I just want a shorty that's intelligent enough. Yeah, but why? Why not just have a shorty like Alabama Barker who has one singular brain cell, dude? And she says, oh, your name is Neon, so I got you a neon chrome hearts. Guess what? I'm pretty sure that text doesn't even glow in the fucking dark. So guess what? You just got me a random bright green shirt, Alabama. Thank you.
You're gonna have me wearing just chrome.
Chrome.
Chat, I'm a builder.
And this is my favorite.
Okay.
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 I wanted to get something else, but I don't know what you like enough in that department yet.
Okay.
She doesn't like you, bro. And second of all, bro, Alabama Barker has the personality of a sugar cookie. All right? It's like, it's there, but it's just, those little granules of sugar aren't cutting it, dude.
So this is like an easy, like.
Okay.
This is good.
Okay. Yep. It's a box. Diamond Club.
I'm sorry, guys. If the YouTube content check doesn't get me in the background, they're all that music playing, then I don't know what will, bro. But there's Neon doing what Neon does. Just being the absolute butt of the jokes of the streaming world. And sure, shout out to Alabama Barker being Travis Barker's daughter, but I mean, unless she's going to continue to spit out those raps, she needs to do something quick. Because as quickly as you can get put on in today's day and age, you can quickly get taken off the pedestal. So she better have some sort of skill. Quickly. And it better not be some sort of booty funnel funneling to the OF. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2026. I don't know, guys. I don't know. You guys know how I feel about celebrity drama, dude. Like, I don't like it. You guys always tell me, hey, Seth, react to this, react to that. And it's like, I'm telling you, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan. All right, guys. You know what happens at the end of every stream, at the end of every video. We must sit down and we must dissect. We must tell ourselves, where are we? How are we doing in the grand scheme of things? Are we advancing? Are we becoming better? I would think so. We've been able to sort of get our systems down in place in terms of streaming and how we want to be streaming. We're living good. I'm able to buy some food. I'm able to do these things. I think getting through those first early stages of whatever it is that you're doing, I think it's super important to understand where you're at and why you're there, and then figure out how we don't need to go back there again. So when it comes to doing labor stuff and labor work, congratulations, guys. We are never going back there. We are currently editing a bunch of stuff online for people and finding online clients. So that is what has been able to facilitate our situation currently. So there's no need for us to go back there. I really want to focus on streaming more and also getting back into making music as well. I tried to make a song the other day. It just didn't really work. it was okay. It was a good attempt, and it's important to have these attempts, even if it's for like an hour at a time, just to be able to do stuff that isn't necessarily always feels like it's some sort of grueling must do. Especially like today's stream, we played Pokemon, we reacted to Alabama Barker and Neon, and you know what? We were just having fun. We were just having fun, and I think if I can always remember to just always have fun, then everything else will be okay. Because sometimes the moments that you're going through before you can climb up the second, third, fourth, and fifth rungs, you just need to be able to accept the grit. Sometimes those gritty situations really make you tougher and help you out to be able to take on the next challenge, right? But as in terms of what I should be doing in my day-to-day, every single day I'm doing it, and every single day I step closer and closer to what I'm supposed to be actually doing with my life. This idea of making content, traveling, being able to make music, having the money to invest in the marketing, and being able to have a high quality presentation, high quality cameras and everything like that. You guys are watching that whole life take its sort of infancy into where it could possibly be, right? I don't know where we could possibly be. Remember when we started the journey, we were doing labor jobs and living on my brother's couch. And now we have our own spot. We're able to communicate with the fans and to live and to do things that are cool. And you know what? Throughout this whole journey, as I documented, I want you guys to be able to see the growth, the ideas that I had. This is, I'm in a sense just calling this like an adaptation or a shift in how I'm approaching my end goal. But I had to just pivot and continue with the idea because the idea continues to linger in my mind, and I continually want to continue to make art and stuff. And so you guys are going to be able to see it all grow from this point forward. All right, guys, enough yapping. No more yap. That's it. That's it for today's stream. It's already what, like a 2.5 hour stream? Yeah, it's a 2.5 hour stream. Good stream. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, that's it with that. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the Pokemon stream. If we should do more Pokemon streams, let me know. Comment on this video. Let me know you want more Pokemon streams, or if we should do more just like drama stuff during the day. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the growth and progression of how I'm going to be able to build and become the final version of me. You know, we're wearing more black. We got more chrome necklaces. We got the hands. More rings, more chains, more grills. I'm telling you guys are watching it all happen firsthand as we rise together as a family. So I appreciate you guys jumping in the rabbit hole with me like you guys do. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.